Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Prime Minister Modi, in his 97 minutes long speech yesterday in Rajya Sabha, accused Nehru and the Gandhi family for all what has gone wrong with the country, and that for the last 11 years, he's been making amends for all those historical wrongs. Not that he did this for the first time, but this has become a cliched pattern of Modi's speech, rather, an underlining theme. Now, from trade deal to Viksit Bharat, Modi spoke less about his vision and what his government was doing and spent more time on accusing and berating Nehru and the Gandhis. Now, what has happened? BJP MP Nishikant Dubey has decided to set up a library documenting what he described the misdeeds, corruption, and policy failures of the Nehru Gandhi family. And he has appealed to the supporters to contribute books, documents, and research material for the initiative. Now, I want to play out a bite of Priyanka Gandhi, what she said during the last monsoon session during the discussion on Vande Mataram. I really want you to hear this speech by Priyanka Gandhi, a short clip of that, and then we'll play out also what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday. Let's listen into Priyanka Gandhi first.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री महोदय 12 सालों से सदन में है, मैं मात्र 12 महीनों से हूं। फिर भी छोटी सी सलाह है। उन्होंने अभी हाल ही में चुनाव था, कुछ महीनों पहले उन्होंने एक सूची निकाली थी कि विपक्षी दलों ने और विपक्ष के नेताओं ने कितने अपमान किए हैं इनके, और उसमें शायद 90-99 ऐसे उन्होंने अपमानों की सूची बनाई थी। तो मैं उनको एक छोटी सलाह देना चाहती हूँ कि नेहरू जी से जितनी भी शिकायतें हैं, जितनी भी गलतियां उन्होंने की आपके जहन में, जितनी भी गालियां देनी है, जितना भी अपमान करना है, उसकी भी एक सूची बना दीजिए। नहीं, बात खत्म नहीं है। 999 अपमान, 9999 अपमान, सूची बना दीजिए और फिर हम एक समय निर्धारित करते हैं। जैसे हमने 10 घंटे आज वंदे मातरम पर हमने बहस किया ना, उस तरह से हम अध्यक्ष महोदय जी से पूछेंगे, एक समय निर्धारित करेंगे, 10 घंटे, 20 घंटे, 40 घंटे, जितने घंटों में आपकी ये शिकायत पूरी हो जाए, आप शांत हो जाए और हम बहस कर लेंगे। लेकिन इस सदन का कीमती समय, जिसके लिए हमें यहाँ पे जनता ने भेजा है, जैसे हमें जनता की समस्याओं को हल करने के लिए चर्चा करनी चाहिए, इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए, उसको इसी के लिए इस्तेमाल करिए। उसके बाद जैसे अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं ना, जैसे अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं कि once and for all let's close the chapter, क्लोज कर लीजिए। देश सुन लेगा क्या क्या शिकायतें हैं, किसने क्या किया, इंदिरा जी ने क्या किया, राजीव जी ने क्या किया, परिवारवाद क्या होता है, नेहरू जी ने कौन सी गलतियां की, सुना लीजिए, फिर खत्म। उसके बाद बेरोजगारी, महंगाई, की समस्याएं, पीएमओ में हो रहा है उसकी बातें, उसकी चर्चा, जो बैटिंग ऐप के बारे में हो रहा है पीएमओ के अंदर, जो एफटी फाइलों में आपके मंत्री महोदय के नाम निकल आए हैं, उसकी चर्चा करेंगे। आप वंदे मातरम में बोले, आप इधर तो डाइवर्ट मत हो। क्या हो गया? एक मिनट, हाँ क्या हो गया? अंत में चली गए। एक मिनट, माननीय सदस्य, वंदे मातरम पर सार्थक चर्चा करें। ठीक सर,
All right, so Priyanka Gandhi in the last monsoon session appealed to the treasury benches that let's allocate some time for a discussion where you can hurl as many abuses as you can on the Nehru and the Gandhi family. But after that, let's begin talking on inflation, price rise, problems related to women. But can this Nehru-Gandhi be a closed chapter for Prime Minister Modi? It seems it will not. Now, I want to play out a clip of Prime Minister Modi, what he said yesterday in Rajya Sabha while he was replying to the motion of thanks on the president's address. And again, his speech, what I described earlier, was less about his vision, less about what his government wants to do, and more about accusing Congress, more about hurling abuses on Nehru and the Gandhi family. Let's listen into what Prime Minister Modi said, and then we'll get straight into the discussion.
Yes. नेहरू जी और इंदिरा जी की सोच क्या थी, मैं उसके विषय में बताना चाहता हूं। इंदिरा जी एक बार ईरान गए थे और ईरान में वो भाषण दे रही थी, और उस भाषण में उन्होंने नेहरू जी के साथ जो बातचीत हुई थी उसका उल्लेख किया। खुद ने कहा है, उन्होंने कहा, और मैं जो इंदिरा जी ने कहा था उसको कोट कर रहा हूं, जब किसी ने मेरे पिताजी से पूछा, यानी नेहरू जी से पूछा कि उनके सामने कितनी समस्याएं हैं, तो उन्होंने उत्तर दिया था 35 करोड़। नेहरू जी ने जवाब दिया था कि उनके सामने कितनी समस्याएं हैं, बोले 35 करोड़। उस समय हमारे देश की जनसंख्या थी 35 करोड़। अब आगे देखिए, 35 करोड़ देशवासी नेहरू जी को समस्या लगते थे। ऐसा कोई मुखिया हो सकता है क्या जी? और इस बात का उदाहरण देते हुए इंदिरा जी ने आगे कहा कि आज देश की जनसंख्या 57 करोड़ है, इसलिए मेरी समस्याओं की संख्या भी उतनी ही बड़ी है। यानी पिताजी को 35 करोड़ समस्या वाले देशवासी लगते थे, अब 57 करोड़ उनको समस्या। कोई ऐसा हो सकता है जो अपने ही देशवासियों को समस्या माने?
All right. So I think there's some connectivity glitch, but you got a sense of what Prime Minister Modi was saying, and then towards the end he says that 1.4 billion people of the country are not problems, but they are solutions for me. This is what the point he was wanting to come across. Now, what I'm wanting to ask today is that you've seen how many times Prime Minister Modi has taken Nehru's and Indira Gandhi's name. So the question is that, is Modi trying to make himself irrelevant by quoting Nehru and the Gandhis in every speech? Is Modi indirectly admitting that in 2026, Nehru is more relevant than Modi? This is what we are discussing this evening. Joining me this evening is Dr. B. Ramachari, who's a BJP spokesperson. Thank you so much, Dr. Ramachari, for joining on the Federal. Wing Commander Anuma Acharya, Congress spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining. Anand K. Sahai, senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much, Anand, for joining. And let me begin with Dr. Ramachari. You heard what Priyanka Gandhi said, that let's close the chapter for as far as Indira Gandhi and Nehru are concerned. Why can't it be a closed chapter for BJP? But she made sense when she said that let's discuss it. You can hurl as many abuses as you want, but then let's start discussing about price rise, inflation, and so many other issues which are plaguing the nation.
First of all, the Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, they don't have any experience and common sense. Just they want to target Modi ji. Their intention is destroy the democracy. They don't want to discuss in the parliament. Because of that, they are talking like this. If you read the Himalayan Blender book by Captain Brigadier Jan Dalvi, that you come to know how many, what type of administration was Nehru ji, what happened to the country. See, before independence, at the time of independence, $1 is 1 rupee. Okay, 1 rupee is equal to dollar. To what happened to in next era? Because of their personal agenda, they don't have any development. They don't want to develop. They divided into Hindu and Muslim. They see, if you go to if you read the Ambedkar books about Nehru and after that Indira Gandhi, so many writers, so many books are there. See their administrative style. See, 2014 to 2026, we reach fourth place. So whatever development in the history of India, in the history of world, the European, they come to beg in front of India. Okay, the strength of administration, Modi. So we have to discuss the what mistakes done by Congress, Manmohan Singh, Nehru, Indira, that is relevant. They collapse the country. See, after collapsing the country, you are say after, yeah. After
Dr.
collapsing the country, after collapsing the economy, so we have to remind. If you don't have a history, madam, lastly, I will stop. If you don't read history, you will not going to develop yourself. We need history. We have to remember
so
their mistakes.
no, listen, Dr. Ramachari, so you are admitting that your party and Prime Minister Modi, when repeatedly he berates Nehru and Gandhi, so that is the aim and objective. That is your vision. You have to relive that history where Nehru committed blunders, where Indira Gandhi committed blunders. But you have no vision. Your party doesn't have any vision.
No,
You
no,
talk about
no. That's why we are comparing, madam. See, 2014 to before 2014. That is the we are segregating the difference between before 2014, after 2014. What happened in India?
Dr. Ramachari, by comparing Prime Minister Modi's regime with Nehru and Indira, are you not making your own Prime Minister irrelevant? 2026, it
No,
seems Nehru is more important than Prime Minister Modi.
no, no.
In every speech,
Yeah, see, the country, young people must know what blunder they did. See, the country, young people, the country youth must know what blundering administrative by the Congress party, 40, 50 to 60 years. See, they divided and ruling. So, what humiliation for Hindus? What type of second citizens when in the Congress is a regime? What their administrative style? See, they are not respecting constitution. Who impose emergency? See, we have to tell all those things. 2014 to 2016, there is racket speed development is there. Everybody knows that. See, they are not talking their blunder. They are not talking about their mistake. We are doing best. Modi ji is the world class leader. All our other country, see, other country, common people, even American, madam, 1 minute, American citizens, they're praying the God. They want a leader like Modi.
Dr. Ramachari, this is what the problem with the BJP spokespersons is. Once you all start speaking, you will
No,
not
BJP, if you are talking truth, you are not listening truth. That I am talking truth only. See, if you don't like truth, what can I do, madam?
Okay, so the truth is that Modi government doesn't commit any blunders. Right, now let me get in Anuma here. Anuma ji, you were listening to what Dr. Ramachari is saying, and what I want to ask Congress also. When Priyanka Gandhi in the last session had clearly said, and she had urged the treasury benches that let's allocate some time, 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, just to ensure that whatever abuses or whatever number of abuses they want to hurl at Nehru and Indira, let them do that. And then after that, we'll begin the discussion on the main issues. Why was Congress not insistent on that? Priyanka Gandhi made a strong pitch. Why didn't Congress party then carry forward with that demand? You should have campaigned for it. You should have insisted that BJP continues to allocate time. Why was Congress not insistent? Because now everyone is asking questions of Congress also. That if Priyanka Gandhi had made a pitch like that, why didn't the party carry forward that pitch? And why didn't it make it into a big campaign?
Good evening, Niluji, to your panelists and the viewers. Look, there are so many issues which actually prevail in this country, and the main issue is presently the trade deal which is harming our farmers. Now, when Priyanka ji has given that an open offer, BJP did not avail it. Now, tell me one thing. They have been talking off and on, and they will not even stop, even if in one go the whole of the session is dedicated to Pandit Nehru, then also they are not going to stop talking against it because they have nothing to offer. Prime Minister Modi behaves like a grumpy old woman who is always complaining. And one thing in which I saw Prime Minister talking, I really was so bored, got bored yesterday. After listening to a long part of speech, I decided to shut my YouTube off. But now I am in this thing you have played that clip in which Prime Minister is saying that 35 crore people were problem for Pandit Nehru. Look at this man. He doesn't have any wisdom. The preamble of our constitution starts with "We the people of India." That means Pandit Nehru treated every citizen's problem as his own problem, and all at that time 350 million of them. And Narendra Modi, with all his supposed brilliance, I mean, he is not showing degree, so still cannot grasp even the simple idea. And people in earlier, I want to tell, your BJP panelists that people in earlier times were intelligent, and when they had differences, they expressed them openly, but not like this. That somebody is just taking away the whole debate, whole platform. Unlike today, there's fixed rule. There were rules, and whether even difference of opinion was, expressed. Now here, it is either highway or my way. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is such a dictator. I mean, his dictatorship is so much that in his own party, no one can express any.
Anwaji, what is Congress now going to do now that Nishikant Dubey has announced that he's going to create a library of books which will talk about the misdeeds of Nehru and Gandhi? Now, does Congress have a counter to that? And then I'll come to Anand.
So let them do it. No problems. Let them create that whole library, and then the truth will, in any case, emerge. Because they can't even touch Pandit Nehru's height, cannot be touched. These people are just encashing on that. The marketing is only on Pandit Nehru. What BJP has done, millions of scams and frauds and everything is happening in this Nehru. Pandit Narendra Modi.
Yes, Nehruism. Scam is happened in Nehruism.
I'll come to you later. Ramachari, let's not interrupt. Let's not interrupt. This is not a TV debate. I don't want to hold this debate like a TV debate. Yes.
Like this is not a TV debate. Remember, we are discussing a matter and we are not interfering anybody's when somebody is talking. Narendra Modi has been, first of all, he has still not, they have not done any of the investigation on Pulwama. So far, no white paper is there. What happened in Pahalgam? What happened to those terrorists? They are still like somewhere free. So, and the Ministry of Defense is already clarified. They have no connection with the terrorists who were shot dead. So, start behaving. First of all, your party has such an inferiority complex that you can't speak anything without entering Pandit Nehru's name or the previous Prime Minister's name. Yep.
All right. I'll go to Anand now. Anand, the very fact that Priyanka Gandhi said that let this be a closed chapter. Why do you think that Prime Minister Modi doesn't want to close this Nehru-Gandhi hate chapter? And now it's gone to a different level altogether with Nishikant Dubey saying that he's going to create a library of books which will have misdeeds of Nehru and Gandhi. Yes, Anand. You'll have to unmute. Anand, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
I find myself in a wrong discussion. I had not expected, this kind of, it's a free for all. Ask you a question on zoology, you give me a answer on everything else but zoology. This kind of discussion, that's the trouble with, bringing political party people in these discussions. Regardless of the merits of the case, they will say whatever comes to their head. It can make sense, it can be nonsensical, but that is how it's going on. I think the whole point of the clip we saw of the Prime Minister, it was meant to be a reply to the President's address. So we have this fantastic situation where the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha was not permitted to speak on that subject. He was denied an opportunity to speak. And the Prime Minister of India, when he does speak, he is speaking on not even history. He is giving a political, briefing chat to his cadres, which are meant to instigate people against some leaders who died about 60 years ago or 55 years ago. I forget my arithmetic may be wrong. I really don't know what we are talking about. And Nishikant Dubey or whoever it is, when they're talking about compiling books, the whole thing began with Rahul Gandhi reading from a news magazine article, right? The rule is, and I saw this clarified by Mr. Achari, former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha, and I've been in Parliament long enough to know this rule, that so long as a member can authenticate what he is quoting from, he is permitted to speak. If he is talking rubbish, then the government will point by point, show that what he is saying is nonsensical. That it never came to that. The speaker said, "No, you can't talk." First, whenever I find that Rahul Gandhi gets up to speak, senior ministers like Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister of India, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, they all it's like a football or a hockey game. When you see from the opponent side, there's a star dribbler, then there are 5 or 6 fellows mark him. And then some people start shouting slogans from the outside. So that's exactly what's going on. Rahul Gandhi, maybe he was talking through his hat. It's possible, but we don't know that. That had to come out in the course of the discussion. But if you're not prepared to say that if I'm in the opposition, can I not have a point of view based on facts, which are not exactly the same as that of the government? In order to be an Indian, a true Indian, a patriotic Indian, must I have a view which coincides with that of the government of the day? In what kind of democracy are we talking about? So and the PM, when he speaks in Parliament, especially when he's making the long speeches, hour and a quarter, hour and a half, not a single point from the president's address was picked up by the PM. So the opposition leader is not permitted to speak, and PM speaks about wholly irrelevant matters. So the parliament has become a grand joke. The parliament is a grand joke, and all these chaps go there to, you talk to BJP MPs, ruling party MPs, outside of parliament, if you know them well enough, then they will tell you, you hear from them what you hear from the opposition chaps. Quietly they are happy that someone is saying what he is saying. But there they will just thump the desk and so on. And as far as this member of parliament from Bihar who's now trying to collect books and articles, God knows what he's trying to collect. But I can assure you that the WhatsApp pundits who belong to the grand WhatsApp university run by a political party and the so-called social cultural organization that backs it, they have already compiled a long list of thousands or millions of mistakes committed by the first Prime Minister. They have advertised it. It's a well-known thing. So Mr. Dubey did not look very far. He has to just pick that out. But that is not relevant to the president's address. If the leader of the opposition is asked, where are you quoting from? The book is not even published. But I'm not quoting from a book. I'm quoting from a magazine article in which the author is a very, very well-regarded journalist and now a scholar. So in response to that, if you say that, no, this is not the answer. So since you are quoting something which I don't happen to like, then I will start quoting from someone who lived 75 years ago, or who was the Prime Minister of India 75 years ago. Does that make any sense? If there was irrelevance of the highest order in any parliamentary proceedings, then this will qualify. So I really don't know what we are discussing. As far as your general broad question, that can there be a day, as that lady, what's her name, Priyanka Gandhi said, please let's have a session of parliament where we discuss only Nehru. I think that would be a waste of government's time, a waste of the time of the country. Nehru has had his day. If you began talking to me for a discussion on the present, and you said, no, I will discuss only about your grandfather. What is it? If the RSS or these people begin to talk, I will say, no, sorry. I will take it back to Mr. Savarkar.
Anand, if I may interrupt you here, what do you think is the reason that why Prime Minister Modi cannot resist this Indira and Nehru hate chant? I mean, in every
because it's quite plain. Because you see, there and the wrong chap was shot in 48, in January 48, and that's been said also by members of the broader ecosystem of the ruling group. Somebody said, and it was quoted all over the place, that the wrong person was shot. The right person to have been shot was Nehru. Okay, but the point is, if they, the level of achievements of the present government is not even discussed. It is, they do propaganda for themselves. Everything they say has to be fact-checked. If they come through that, they do their own propaganda because there's nobody else to endorse it. It's true that Nehru committed lots of mistakes. It's true that Indira Gandhi committed lots of mistakes. It's true that Gandhi would have committed many mistakes, and so would have Ambedkar and Savarkar and the whole lot. Anyone who is in public life, can he not or can she not make mistakes? Do we then question their patriotism?
right.
I mean, in spite of his mistakes, Nehru was the leader of the highest forums of the world.
Absolutely.
India had just become,
right.
Listen to me, India had just become independent. It was the poorest country in the world. It had nothing. But there was not a single important world development relating to war, peace, economy, international security, about which the Indian government would not be invited. And Nehru would send whoever he wanted to send. That was, you can try as hard as you might to declare yourself as first Vishwa Guru, now Vishwa Mitra or Vishwa Bandhu. You can be a guru or a friend or a brother.
Right. In fact, Anand, you've made a very important point, and I would like to get in Mr. Ramachari. That Dr. Ramachari, is it a problem with the way Prime Minister and the BJP looks at things? And I'll give you small examples, and just hear me out what I'm saying. What Anand pointed out was that Prime Minister Modi and BJP, they talk about history. You yourself said in your submission that we need to make comparisons. You need to point out, I mean, it's your political compulsion to point out the blunders committed by Nehru, by Gandhi, and several others icons who've committed mistakes in your eyes. But what has any time BJP told the Prime Minister, or is anybody telling the Prime Minister where he is going wrong, where he's committing blunders? Now, I'll tell you exactly what. Now, yesterday we saw a 97-minute speech by Prime Minister Modi. Now, look at the way he looks at things. He says that Rahul Gandhi, and I'm not speaking on behalf of Rahul Gandhi. We have a Congress spokesperson to defend there. But the point is that Rahul Gandhi, if he asks questions on an unreleased book, it's a humiliation of the president. That's how Prime Minister Modi sees it. If Ravneet Bittu has been called a traitor by Rahul Gandhi, Prime Minister sees this as a humiliation of Sikhs. Now, is it like scoring a brownie point? Was all this part of the president's address? Because repeatedly Rahul Gandhi was being told by the speaker and by several others in the house that no, what he's talking about national security and General Narawane's book is not part of president's address. So won't the same questions apply on the prime minister? I mean, all the rules are meant for the opposition, all the rules are meant for Rahul Gandhi, but no rules are meant for Prime Minister Modi, and Prime Minister Modi doesn't commit any blunders. Are you saying that? Very briefly.
See, 1 minute. See, the Congress regime, you have to see the so many ruling given by the speakers, that Meena Kumari, Balram Jakad, when the opposition showing some papers, some reports, there are several orders, speakers orders are there, so you cannot speak keeping a newspaper. See, when they are ruling something, they are doing mistake. They are they behave like above the constitution. So what Mr. Modi is repeated, Modi knows how to speak. See, yesterday speak, maybe you and your party member or your Congress party member, some leftist journalist, they don't, I think they don't like. But 95% of this country liked the Prime Minister speak. 1 minute. 95% of the people of this country supporting Prime Minister Modi. You know, so when Congress, no wrong, madam. See, see, Constitution is Constitution. When they have to behave, see, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he must behave like a opposition party leader. He holds a constitutional position, but he's not. He's behave like a schoolboy. He is not serious. He want to destroy the whole parliamentary system, the ecosystem. See, just see.
Please allow me to ask you a question. This is the problem, the party's problem, that you don't want questions to be asked.
No, I don't want listen you. I don't want to see. We know what we are a party. See, I don't teach me. Don't teach anything. I am coming for debate. We know how to answer. You know. So if you are not listen, I will go out. See, I know how to. You don't criticize me personally. See, I know. See, my vision is my vision. My party vision is my party vision. If some leftist journalist or some spokesperson, they have their own thing. See, we don't want to learn anything from anybody, from Congress or any leftist journalist. We know what we are. Why you are criticized personally me? So, you have to listen my answer. If you are not listening to my answer, I'm not going to participate in this debate. There is no use. You know, you are not allowing me to talk.
You have had enough time to speak. Now you are not ready to listen to what I'm asking. If as a host I have to ask you a question, then you start shouting, you start labeling that there's a leftist journalist, some like-minded. No. My point is, what I wanted to ask you was that Rahul Gandhi is a leader of the opposition. Rahul Gandhi, opposition asks questions from the government. He was wanting to ask questions on the national security. Now, instead of allowing him to speak, his voice is muzzled. He's not allowed to speak. Now, what does it go to show? Very briefly, and then I'll come to answer.
There is a constitutional rules and regulation. There is a rules and regulation. He must follow the rules and regulation. See, if Congress regime, same point raised by this, those time opposition party leaders, they shown some book, they shown some paper. Those time speakers, they are not allowed. They suspended. See, when the speakers told Rahul Gandhi, follow some rules and regulation, minimum rules and regulation, he is not ready to listen.
All right.
See, if you want to speak, 1 minute, madam. If you want to speak, let them speak about the economical problems, any development problems. He is having every right to criticize the government. We are welcoming. We are not controlling anything. See, he is not behave. Their intention, they want to destroy the democratical process. They want to give big news. So they don't have a point. They don't have a debate. They don't have any criticism on government because government is such beautifully run by the Modi. Because of this unwanted question they're rising, they're criticizing, they're creating problem. That is only thing.
All right, you made your point. Now, Anumaji, Dr. Ramachari and several BJP leaders have been saying that the rule book doesn't allow the leader of the opposition to speak. Now, why? And we did see that Congress leaders were not able to cite the rules, like what the rules were being cited by the Speaker, by Amit Shah, by Rajnath Singh. Everyone was citing the rules. Did Congress stop short of citing the rules? At least your party could have taken out the rule book, showed it that, look, this is what the rule says, and this is why the opposition leader should be allowed. And it was also a selective interpretation of rules. The party didn't highlight that too much.
It indeed was selective interpretation of rules, but history does not remember who shouted. History remembers who refused to answer. Now, in this case, I can see a very reckless BJP spokesperson, but at the same time, I have a problem with Anandji, who said that the wrong person was shot. The person who should have been shot was Nehru. Did I get it right? But tell me, why should anyone wants to kill someone? Why would anyone want to shoot someone? I mean, why should anyone be shot at all? Why are we talking about it? And I mean, BJP and RSS, especially the Hindu Mahasabha and RSS, they were found responsible for it. So I only want to ask BJP spokesperson to tell me who is responsible for Balasore train tragedy. He wouldn't know. Who is responsible for Pulwama terror attack? He wouldn't know. So if you and there are n number of cases. Say aviation crash which happened last year, Ahmedabad urban infrastructure disaster, failing Jal Jeevan mission, CAG reports which came and which conveyed that the Home Ministry doesn't know in which code head their budget has been spent. So everywhere, BJP doesn't know governance. That is what is the problem, and therefore the people become reckless because they are not in habit of. I mean, if I can give you data in UPA 1, 68% of the time of Parliament was invested in making rules and regulations and decisions. In UPA 2, it was around 79%. But now what is happening? The government doesn't want to talk on, started with Pegasus, started with COVID deaths. The government is not taking any questions on anything. The government is not taking any question on China, whereas it is so clear, it is so evident that the Prime Minister has not supported the then Chief of the Army Staff. I come from the...
Can I just interrupt you? You pointed out, and that's quite evident what you're talking about. But my point is that by walking out, you've registered your dissent. By boycotting, you've registered your dissent again. You've made a point by protesting about several issues. But how is the Congress party going to carry forward and counter this kind of a politics? Are we going to see this as a regular phenomenon? Prime Minister will make his speech, mainstream channels will show it live, and then the opposition walks out. Are you going to give a cakewalk to BJP each time like this? What is the counter strategy now? That's a big question which Congress is also supposed to be facing.
See, running a parliament is government's responsibility, not the opposition's charity. So if the government is unable to do that, and if we are often going to see this, it's our destiny. I can only say that. Opposition is doing protests. Opposition is talking, taking the things to the streets. Now, you know that Epstein file is an episode, and the trade deal, both is being spoken and discussed in the smaller villages where I go. This government is afraid of every form of discussion. So it will never happen, because if you think they were discussing Pahalgam, what happened at that time? Same day when Operation Mahadev was launched, the entire nation was, it was misled that they have killed those terrorists. Actually, then the Ministry of Defense subsequently said that These are not the terrorists. They refuse to recognize those people. So the thing is, this government will never allow this to happen in number of whatever number of tactics or the things you can do. But I mean, these ministers who are basically listeners. Who is Nishikant Dubey? He was known as a listener. He has been doing that. So now, this kind of people, if running the government, what is the level of course? Everybody knows. I mean, none of the cases which matter to the country, the unemployment, the inflation, the trade deal, nothing is being discussed. So it is government's choice. They will never allow it to happen, and therefore we will do whatever we can.
All right. Now, Anand, to you for the concluding comments, very briefly, and the same question with which we began, that by berating Nehru and Gandhi in every speech what Prime Minister Modi makes, is he making himself irrelevant? And is the BJP even realizing it? Is anybody advising Prime Minister Modi on this? How do you see it?
I don't know, Nilu. Firstly, I must again tell you that I find myself brought into a wholly kind of unfortunate kind of forum. One can hardly call it a discussion. There is no discussion around anything. There is just we are all being held to ransom here. But that apart, I think when you try completely to have any conversation in Parliament, outside Parliament, etc., on what you're doing as government, then everybody involved in the conversation will have to look up facts, figures, data, of not only of the present, but also of the past, of the remote past, like 47, 48, 50, Nehru, the Nehru era, let's say. So you can bash the Nehru era and the Nehru as leader. All that is fine, but not in season, out of season. Even schoolboys, when they fight with each other, they start with one thing, they end up somewhere else, and the main issue is completely given the go by. So that's what we are seeing in Parliament. Therefore, if you wish to digress from the main core agenda before a nation, if you wish to do that, then this is one way of making Parliament irrelevant. The PM is not making himself irrelevant. In the eyes of his own party, he is highly relevant. That's why they did not change him, although he had brought his party down to well below majority in the last Parliament election, right? They did not have the courage to hold a meeting of the BJP Parliamentary Party, newly elected BJP, 240 BJP MPs, in order to elect the leader. Because there was this dread that should anyone raise the issue, why did we come down from 300 to 240? What was it which brought this about? Then there would be mayhem. So the whole thing was hustled through by roping in these NDA allied parties. But the BJP MP has not had any say in electing the leader who would be Prime Minister. And forgive my saying this, and Rashtrapati Bhavan did not have it in mind to follow an old haloed principle of parliamentary democracy, to urge the person who has been named leader, not by his own party, but the ruling bloc, to come and show your majority in a specified time period. It may be 2 days, 20 days, any period of time. That is standard procedure. Everything was given the go by. And now, when it comes to doing accounting of your policies in relation to China border, your policies regarding trade pacts, like with the US, which the American president is announcing from Washington, D.C. I mean, God knows, from his Truth Social, his email, his, social media account. We are mum here. And what does he say? What do the Americans say? They clarified. The American agriculture minister, who's known as the agriculture secretary there, has said that we are penetrating the Indian agriculture market. We have to wait for the fine print, for the details to emerge. It has not been announced yet. But their agriculture minister and others have said this, that India has a vast market for agricultural goods and American goods need an outlet. And so you had jolly well give it to us. We used to charge them, the Indian exports were being charged 3%. And now they will be charged 18%, down from 25, which Trump had threatened a few months ago. It's come down by 7% to 18. But 18 is 15 more than 3.
Right.
So is it a surrender or is it great victory of India?
Right.
But the parliament is told, the parliamentary party of the ruling party is told that the world is looking at us. Frankly, the world is looking at us in astonishment that this was the country which so readily accepts a subordinate status to the United States. That is the astonishing part. And vis-a-vis China, the astonishing part is, after the Chinese army walks into our land, the head of our government says, nobody is coming. While you go and begging and pleading, behind diplomatic doors to say, come, please bail us out, let's have a conversation.
Right.
And at the same time, what you do is, do exactly what the Chinese are asking you to do. Open up your markets. Don't let the economic, interaction stop because we have invaded your land. Chinese troops are still on our soil. We have gone back to status quo ante on the economic side, exactly as the Chinese government was demanding. We have done that. Now we have laid ourselves prostrate before Washington, D.C. And we think that we are Vishwa Bandhu or Vishwa Mitra. It has been scaled down from Vishwa Guru. It's now Bandhu and Mitra. And soon we'll soon be Vishwa Das.
Right.
We'll soon be Vishwa Das.
All right. So, as far as the deal is concerned, lots of answers we still need from the government. Will we get those answers? What we are told is that the deal is going to be inked sometimes in March, or maybe in the next 3-4 days, we might get to know many more details. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens as far as the trade deal between India and America is concerned. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Anand Sahai.
One last minute. If you have a jealousy is no medicine. Mr. Anand is, I'm totally disagree with Mr. Anand. He is having a jealousy towards Prime Minister Modi. This is not right. The people of India will decide who will become a Prime Minister. See. No. So this is not right. You have to listen me. So no. Lastly, the government of the Indian people, the common people will decide who is the Prime Minister in 2024 also. Let them see. If you talking in the jealousy, we cannot do anything.
You have no idea.
Jealousy is no medicine.
I'm sorry.
Without knowing the fact.
It's highly offensive when you call a journalist like Anand Sahai that he's jealous of Prime Minister. I'll have to end the show here.
Yes.
I have to end the show here. Thank you so much, Dr. Ramachari, for joining. Anand, I'm sorry about this. And Anuma, thank you very much for joining.